okay. Off your mic, it's okay. Off your mic,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo.
You hello there, you're welcome to Maiyegun's Diary Political this afternoon. It is the Sunday sermon from wherever you are watching from. Let me bring this on. Right, so thank you very much for joining me again today on Maiyegun's Diary Political this afternoon. And for those who are joining for the first time, you can please click on that subscription button, the one just below the underneath the video, subscribe. And to my subscribing paying members, you are sending complaints about not getting notification whenever Maiyegun is live. I'm going to say, please check your notification if you really set that up, okay? So that will always drop in every bit of Maiyegun's Diary videos into your email, delivered there, waiting for you, okay? So thank you very much again for joining me this afternoon. It's going to be, a bit of a mix of everything. I put a poster there, which is that who else still wants Nigeria? We should, thank you very much, CEO. Yes, I'm live now. Ade Zion. So I will have the chance, before we get so busy as well, to possibly read your comments too, if you are watching me live, except if you are watching this on repeat, okay? So I put a poster out there that who else still wants Nigeria? There are those who indeed want Nigeria as it is, and then they still want the, they want the status quo to continue because they are part of it. And there is army of the citizens who are also very much living in the, within the confused political state where they make decisions in that basket of ignorance, However, that won't stop those comrades, those courageous people who are standing up here and there against tyranny, against dictatorship, and against this tribal, profiling in Nigeria, which is really a thing. And therefore, that is why I said I'm going to be going from here to there. Over the weekend, I think yesterday, there were by-elections in Nigeria, okay, to fill in some vacant political legislative posts like Senate, House of Assembly, district this and that. And APC won all of the by-elections, okay? So one of them was caught on tape. This one was in Imo State, where one of the contestants, which actually won, he later won, it was declared winner, where he was giving his closing speech. I'll tell you why I'm taking you to Imo State for this. But the people who are also very much willing to, the ones that, the one I called the army or the population inside the basket of ignorance, they will jump at it, and they did jump at it. Jump at what it was given to them. And you ask yourself, where are we going to start from? Like those who are benefiting from the rot and those who are looking forward to benefit from the rot, they are in the majority. They are in mass number. And the confused citizens are just trapped in between, including those who are educated and those who are not. Right? But let's go to Imo State, where before the election, and then during the election, how APC won in their way. Watch this.
By Saturday night, I will come with my results of this Alambano to your house. And when anything like, and let me tell you, we believe in finishing the job. Yes. We'll go into the grassroots, give them what the language they understand. What they understand is money. Ego back here. We'll give them ego back here. I get our people ego back here, and they will go and vote for us. Nobody can fight us. Nobody can defeat us. We are going to vote for APC. Your Excellency, it is your duty to go to the court or wherever to recover the power. I don't care how you do it. We are following you because we believe you have the capacity. So we are voting for APC 100%. Thank you and God bless you. Thank you very much.
Did you hear that? The only language our people understand is to give them ego, money. You have been following different platforms that have been discussing the, probability of Nigeria breaking up. And many have, really gone on to prove to you how Nigeria will break up. But I think I can do a little bit of a surgical analysis of what I think needed to be done before we can begin to get the courage or the confidence enough to really face the real devil, Nigeria, the establishment. Maybe I will try, and I'll be able to let you know that the first and the most really the most important one, I'm trying to find a word to use for that. The first step to breaking up of Nigeria is to first try to break the chain of servitude, selfishness and greed, personal, me in the populace that these politicians understood so well. They understand the language to speak to them. Even when they kill them in the morning, when you do this for them in the night, they will still follow you. And the whole thing came out yesterday. Yeah, we knew they would read themselves forever, but the people helped them do that. So to begin the process of breaking up Nigeria, using the current reality, the biggest challenge is that of the people themselves. Because it will surprise you, maybe not. Those you see around complaining bitterly of how disappointing Nigeria is, how the country has let them down, the politicians, the greed, the killings, the insecurity, the whole thing for years. But this, it will surprise you that most of them are complaining simply because they are not so close to the cookie jar. The moment they get closer to the cookie jar, they will change the tune and start telling you Nigeria can work. Only them can make it work. Why they will make it worse? So the problem is not just about those who are benefiting from it now, but those who are looking forward to benefit from the project Nigeria. You see those people that we talk about, those ones that we complain of selling their votes. Yes, we have categories of those who sell their votes for instant gratification, but there are also those who coordinate that, that buying. Those are the ambitious ones. Those are the ones who believe that they control the grassroots, and wherever they want them to go is where they are going to go. Those are the ones who hold the political leveler for the popular faces you see on your televisions and on social media as senators, as reps, as governors, as president, and the rest of them. So whenever the crumbles start falling from the table, from the top, those are the ones the crumbles will get to before it finally gets to the commoners you see on the streets. So it's a chain of slavery that until we begin to untangle the brains of the young and the old, we will just be shadow boxing and they will be laughing at you. They will be conducting elections like they did yesterday, where the people expected you to. I will agree with you. There are so many people don't have their voters card. Okay, fine. The election is going to be rigged. Agreed. But the people are going to be the victims, aren't they? Are they not the victims of all of this? Are you not the victim of all of this, directly or indirectly? But by the time you go fully into it, you realize that it is the same technique. Now, when you tell them we need to break up Nigeria, and you meet resistance from the ordinary people who are the victims of the barbarity going on in the country, then you will be surprised. Like, shouldn't they be worried? How come they have submitted to what they call, we have submitted to fate? It's our fate. But they didn't submit to fate just like that. They have become enablers too. And when you go to them and say, these criminals are bad, you need to get rid of them, they'll say, yes, we need to get rid of them. But when the decision comes for them to get rid of them, they become partakers in keeping them. And when you ask them, they will find you an excuse. It is a psychological, conditioning. When people have been conditioned, they understand their problems. They know the politicians are the same. They know the criminals will not do anything for them. But whenever the decision time comes, the whole thing works like a chain of command. Everybody is looking for something before they can decide to follow whoever they should, or they believed they should follow. And meanwhile, the decision on who to follow is even actually probably moderated by who gives what and more, most, so to say. So we need to continue to do this, this in a way, because you'll be surprised that those who wants to replace these criminals you know today are more than the criminals you see today. And that is the danger against any plan to peacefully break up Nigeria. Maybe you have not been paying attention to that. I just believe I should talk about it today and paint some scenarios for you to match up this analysis, so that maybe I can be able to do good surgical analysis or operation on this subject matter. Take a look at the country right now. If anyone comes out and say, oh, well, people who have been coming out to say, well, we need to break up Nigeria. And when you engage those who claim to be the intellectuals, the mumu lecturers in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, when you try to engage them and they oppose the idea of breaking up of Nigeria by giving these unproven reasons that, well, those criminals who control every region right now are going to continue to control every new country, and the problem will continue the same way. That is their own reason why Nigeria should not have a conversation around their breaking up. And when you ask them, okay, what is your own solution, your own plan to at least have a Nigeria that really works for everybody? Most of the time, they don't really have anything to say, because they know that the problem of the difference, so to say, is so huge, so deep, that for 60 years, they are unable to really make it work. I am saying that to those who might want to tell you the idea of a breaking up of Nigeria is not really ideal. I'm not going to agree with them. And that's why we need to do this. As Nigeria is structured, it is meant to be a federal republic of Nigeria. And do you understand what a federal republic means? Number one, republic in that federal simply means that everyone agreed to be one country. The federal there means that everyone, every state, every component of that federal structure, every state that represents every component of that federal structure is independent. You know what I mean? It means that Ekiti can decide whatever they want to do with themselves. And in that agreement of federal republic, where an agreement was reached, but there was no agreement. Federal Republic of Nigeria. There was no agreement. And the only agreement that they had to have in Nigeria back then was that Western region will control themselves, Eastern as they divided it then. But you know that as Nigeria is today, there is nothing federal about the republic. It is just a unitary system disguised as a democratic system, a dictatorship disguised as a democracy, where no component has a say, no component, none. Now, with this current arrangement, the result of that is what you are now dealing with, including whether you are a Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Efik, Ijo, Shekiri, Nupe, wherever you are in Nigeria, as it is right now, as you are marginalized as it is right now, you have no say in the current, wherever put it together. And they put a document together, they called it the Constitution. So, this has now led to further poverty in the country, corruption, impunity, nepotism, right? State-sponsored killings, massacre, genocide, war, and so many other things that only, somehow, only afflict a cursed country, cursed people. Greed, selfishness, self-centeredness, and ethnocentrism, where people are promoting one ethnic above the other using the political tool. How do you break that when the people are already been conditioned to accept that by all means? How do you break that? People need to know what they are practicing. You need to know the idea of a Nigeria you want to defend too. Is it your own ideal Nigeria, your own idea of idea of Nigeria that you have in your head? Does that suit or fit the description I just gave now? Because that's the reality. If your own mind tells you that that is not the Nigeria you actually have in mind, where all this barbarity goes on, people get killed, and you have no right to discuss it, because according to them, there is an unwritten code that says Nigeria's unity, I don't even know where they found that word, unity. Nigeria's unity is non-negotiable. Where did they find that phrase from? Non-negotiable? Even if you are dying under the shock of terrorism and death, the threat of it, it is non-negotiable. That is a complete bullshit that ordinarily should get everyone raging. If indeed you agreed to a Federal Republic of Nigeria, there is nowhere written anywhere that a conference was, or let me say, a sovereign conference was organized, and the people came out with different resolutions that later became law, that is now guiding the interest of everybody in that country. You know, it is just a charade. How do you get started? Is it going to be with the people, which I'm going to agree with the people? It should start with them. Because once people begin to understand that the Nigeria they are made to believe in, the same one that 99% of them will agree it's not working for them. Whether you are outside, even whether you are a Fulani, you just need to be in there to benefit from the largesse. If you are not, you are just a statistic. The numbers without names or faces to them. So that a tribe or any tribe is greater to another tribe in Nigeria is a myth that the politicians have been using for so long to make you think once you have your man in the corridors of power, your interest is protected. And when you look around, what are your interests? And what are the interests of those in your office? Are your interests being met? I come from a region where education is so cherished. I'm supposed to be one of the most educated people in the world, but I'm not. Because we are part of Nigeria. Western region of Nigeria of old, Western region of old, gave these prospects a foundation that was meant to be the future of a nation that is meant to prosper, a prosperous nation, educated, ambitious nation. That was what the Oduduwa Republic was meant to be when they agreed to be part of Nigeria in 1957, 1959, and 1960. But today in Yoruba land, if you want to tell yourselves the truth, the region that values education so much. You watch how those who they put together as your representatives, which are just stooges, partners in crime of what they are committing against Yoruba people. So look at what they have done to the education sector there. The foundation that we once held with so much admiration. Look at what they did. Look at what they are doing to it now. And today, instead of us to produce homegrown scientists, technologists, great mystery solvers, discoverers and all that, great men and women who would nurture and build the minds of our young ones like theirs were built. Rather than raise that generation, what are we raising? We are now raising generation of touts, thugs, street urchins, political criminals, common hoodlums. That's those we are raising now. People who knew that, and who actually personally knew then that all they needed was just to grab political power or get closer to it. And that's all you need to be an Omoluabi in Yoruba land. So this is a virtue. This is something that they stole away from you. Family value stolen away from us. Gradually and gradually and gradually. And today, we celebrate criminals. People with unexplainable source of wealth. People who actually stole from you to become wealthy. Those unpatriotic criminals who watch Yoruba land bleed while our own tomorrow, the children, the youth, are wasting away. And they tell you that they have over 15 million graduates who are now unemployed. You have over 30 million graduates who are either underemployed or unemployed in Nigeria. Put that into perspective. Where are those graduates coming from? Share the figure, and you realize that we have our own fair share as Yoruba people. So when you walk about and you see your brothers and sisters doing all these odd things to survive around you, then look around you and see if that was actually the future you were supposed to have as a country, as a people. It is not. So that is where we should start from, because even the same people who feel this, who are now living through the self-inflicted poverty, self-inflicted, self-inflicting injury. They will queue up again behind those who are currently there too in Yoruba land now in 2023. So those are the people we should be talking to. Do you understand? Those are the people that should know and begin to ask, what does these people really represent? Those who are supposed to stand up for Yoruba, for example, and they are parading themselves, fighting themselves, trying to outdo one another in order to share from that crumbs that falls from Nigeria, while the rest of the nation, I use nation now for Yoruba land, while the rest of the nation suffers. So when we want to start, we will start with them. As I'm speaking from the from the royal position of Oduduwa, son, and as an Oduduwa now. So definitely my message should be coming to you too as an Oduduwa. So let's come back home. Nigeria gives us poverty. It is for a reason. The people who make this happen year in, year out, they are no other people than Yorubas themselves. And you can run an election for 1 million times in Yoruba land. It will always go in the favor of those same faces, the same criminals, in Yoruba land. Then you ask yourself, shouldn't they at some point grow some balls and stand up for Yoruba land for the first time? So how do you break that chain of possibly making the people see the light and stop patronizing them, and possibly raise the army of Yoruba sons and daughters that will be ready indeed to send real Yoruba sons and daughters that will stand up for Yoruba's interest in Nigeria, and part of that interest will be to break away from Nigeria. Do you know that's a journey? It is a journey, and you need to pack. You need to really pack up for that journey. It's not something that will happen overnight. So when I said step by step, how we are likely going to be able to break away. So then, after talking about why should we even be thinking of breaking away, how are we going to break away? What are the things that will happen before you can begin to believe that it is going to be a matter of time before Yorubas or any other part of Nigeria begin to break away from Nigeria? The Biafrans, they have gone far, but they haven't taken the political route yet. My own analytical surgery today will involve the political part of it, because I want to give you what is practicable now. I don't want to give you something that is so much like fantasy. And I think that is what makes Maiyegun different too. Let's do that together. Comparison analysis. Just make do with what you can of that. How can Yorubas break up? Breaking up from Nigeria is the last thing of the freedom journey. But breaking our people away from the chain of ignorance and the selfishness, self-centeredness, and self-centeredness. We need to do something about that. And I'll tell you what I think should be done and how the journey can be. I may be opportune to get this part of this broadcast cut out for you for this reason. So I'm going to choose my words carefully too. But we'll manage it. Yorubas can break away from Nigeria with a 10-year plan if the Yoruba sons and daughters, home and abroad, if they really want to make that happen. I have to give credit to those who are working on that right now. You know what they are doing. The Baba Akinloye or Akintoye, the current leader, at least the known public face against the public face for Oduduwa Republic. Baba Akintoye is an old man. He is not the future. So when you put 10-year plan in place, you put 20-year plan in place, then you put 25-year plan in place, and that is 10, 10, and 5. It is a journey. It is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. How? Politically, religiously, and traditionally, our people have been one way or the other, they have been manipulated. And maybe I should break it down. What do I mean by that? The decision of our people in Yoruba land on what qualifies you as a leader. Over time, this standard where Yorubas normally look up or look out for who should be seen as a leader started dwindling and reducing. The standard started falling and falling and falling. And today, when you want, politically, religiously, traditionally, you will find out that the standard where the current people who hold some of these positions in Yoruba land, when you look at the characters, the people who make up all these faces, all these powerful positions in Yoruba land, over the years, they are people who have nothing, absolute nothing to do with Yoruba's progress. You may argue that with me. But when I say they are people with no Yoruba interest at heart, I will give you instances too. Let us use the last 21 years of democracy. Do you know that no matter what they tell you, no matter who they want you to blame for the misfortune befalling Nigeria right now and befalling Yoruba land, just know this, that the last 21 years I've seen Yorubas, Yoruba sons and daughters, the young and the old, Christians, Muslims, atheists, and so many of them who have held different positions of authorities on behalf of Yoruba people in the last 21 years. Many have been traditional rulers, many have been governors, ministers, reps, clergymen. So many have been, they've held for the past 21 years. Do you know that in the last 21 years, there has been no single time that any of them was bold enough to come out on behalf of Yoruba people to champion the same philosophy or objectives of the Afenifere, which was actually the train that brought them to prominence, most of them. Do you know that for the past 21 years, not a single time did any of them stand up and say, well, you know what? Yorubas deserves better than what we have right now. I mean, generally, when it comes to us controlling our own affairs, this is what so many radical Yorubas in the 60s, in the 50s, this is who they were, 70s. These were the tenets, these were the, the traits, the objectives of an average Yoruba person. Anything you are going to be involved in, it must be Yoruba's interest first. But this didn't happen, by the way, in practice, in reality. For 21 years since this democracy started, do you know that Yorubas have been the ones ruling Yoruba land? For 21 years now, there hasn't been any Fulani man who become governor in Yoruba land. No single one. And when you look at all of those who have held one position or the other in political office in Yoruba land in the last 21 years, you can tell their stories before they join politics. You can tell their stories now. They are better off than the different Yoruba, the different states they ruled in Yoruba land. And there is no single one of them that stood up for Yoruba land. Not single one. I mean, where they had the chance to. Not because they would actually do it anyway. So when they now say, why should Yoruba land break away from Nigeria? How should we do that? And I'll tell you that, you see these political criminals in Yoruba land as you have them right now, they will continue to decide who becomes what in Yoruba land for the next 10 years, if nothing is done from now. And that is why the journey of the first 10 years is important. Why should the people stop patronizing them? Why should the people continue to settle for less than they deserve? That should be our own job now. Because you need to displace them. You need to stop them from changing forms, changing colors every now and then, changing to whatever they can change to manipulate the people, only to give them the same result, which is just going to be more poverty, more abject poverty. And if you have humanity in you, come on, you're likely going to agree with me. So, unbundling the minds of the people that they have managed to hold down for so long, that no matter what you say to them, they will continue to give you reasons why they believe those criminals. And you will continue to ask yourself, how? I told you the chain of command, didn't I? There are those who do the job for them. The people who go about parade themselves as the local champions in different villages and towns, in your own village, in your own town and all that. You know them, I know them, we have them everywhere. They are in PDP, they are in APC. Their job is to monitor everyone in their area. Who is doing theirs, who is not doing theirs, and all of that. And every time they need to send in all those stipend, all those demeaning, disgraceful vote buying and other manipulative gifts they give to them. When they want to send them down, they don't come down to give them to them. They send through those people, identified people. They don't wish to be rich, they don't want to be rich, but they are guaranteed of political patronage as long as they hold power. So where do we start? We start from them. When you begin to let people know that their problem is not caused by their distance from God, because our people are being told that if you don't pray too much, if you don't obey God's laws too much, that could be the reason why you are being punished. It could be because of the sins of your own forefathers. That's why you are being punished. Why your children won't have a good education. You yourself won't have access to good medical facilities to take care of you. You won't have a secured and safe environment. You can't do your business enough to at least keep and feed your family. Your children are going to continue to be dependent on you because the country will make them so. You know what I'm talking about? So when you begin to let people see the damages that those who claim to be their leaders are doing to them, and they begin to distance and begin to detach themselves from them, you know, that's going to be a long journey. It is the reality. You need to take power away from the criminals who have the chance, which the system allowed to do what they can now. The ones that can turn you against me, okay, and all of this turning against, you will think you are doing it in the interest of one thing, probably the Yoruba land, because they present themselves as your leader. Same thing in Igbo land, same thing in Hausa land, in every land in Nigeria. If you think it very well, you will realize that everyone is marginalized, not just yourself. It is just how you are coping with your own marginalization that matters. They play everybody. They tell you, you are working for this. Oh, no, you are working for that. Oh, you are an Igbo person. Oh, you are an Hausa man. Oh, you are a Yoruba man. Then because you are a Christian. Oh, because you are a Muslim. Oh, because you are, you know, all this manner of meaningless distractions are there to keep you confused, to continue to keep one Nigeria. So once you take away that power and you break that chain of command, do you know what you have done? You hijack the grassroots. How do you do that? Educate them. We need every Yoruba son and daughter, including myself, to be part of it. So that will take me back to Baba Akintoye. Baba Akintoye, who is currently leading that Yoruba forum on Oduduwa Republic. They are doing a great job. They are raising the awareness, which is the most important job to start with, to break the chain of that manipulation. The chain of manipulating our people is not foisted on them by anyone outside Yoruba land. The chain to manipulate our people, to keep them in control and to keep dangling carrots before them and continue to make them feel like they can always wait for their own turn too. And why the millions of others suffers. And they will never stand up for Yoruba land in Nigeria. They won't. Standing up for Yoruba land in Nigeria by these current political leaders mean that that simply means that they will need to give up the privileges they enjoy now. The privileges of keeping their people poor while their land is exploited. Imagine a supposedly prosperous Yoruba land, rich country, rich in everything, human and their natural resources. That country is now a beggarly country, attached to the poverty capital of the world. Think about that. And those who are there, they are not interested in freeing the people from this self-inflicted man-made poverty. It is man-made. It is not God. So you need to change them. You should be thinking of changing them. How do you change them? You should aim for breaking the chain. How? That is where you come in. I'm talking to you. Some of you who indeed have been following up on how can we break up from Nigeria. You haven't really been able to get your hands on information on how can Yoruba break up from Nigeria. We need you. There are so many organizations doing the job of enlightening people all over the place. Your job is not to put them to judgment. Your job is to help, is to support them, and in return, they will help your curiosity. They will help you find the answers. Like I am about to also help you, or I am trying to help you. Help you. You need to support them. You don't need to put them to judgment. None of them is going to be perfect. None of them, not all of them will have the answers at once. You're going to get the answers from supporting them, from listening to them. Yoruba land is a country of over 60 million people. That is significant. Yes, we have our differences too. Yeah, we are not just one monolithic Yorubas. We know. We have the Ijebus, we have the Egbas, we have the Egos, we have the we have the Aworis, the Lagosians, we have the Ekitis, we have the Ondos, we have people, we have tribes in Yoruba land, we have the Oyos, the Oyomesis, Igbominos. Yes, we know. But you know, there is something about Yoruba land. It seems that what seems to be our differences is actually our strength, our uniqueness, our brotherhood, family. We have rivalries. Yes, that shouldn't be the worst thing. Americans are amalgamation of different races, different tribes, different cultures, different traditions, people of different backgrounds. And they strive to be great, and they are great. How can anybody tell you that because there is historical stuff that Egbas don't like this, Ijebus don't like that, Aworis don't, come off it. We still identify as Yorubas that have a lot that really makes us come on. We have a language that we all understand. We can speak and understand ourselves in a common language that is not foreign. And it is that language that is called Yoruba. It is the language that if I begin to speak now, whether you are from Egba or where have you will still be able to understand every word I speak. Yes, you will be able to. And you can have a country where that your identity is not taken away from you. You will still be Ijebu. You will still be Egba. You will still be Aworis. You will still be Ejos. You will still be Iba. You will still be who you are. The Dual Republic. So don't let that difference be scared of how great you can be. Because currently, what they are telling you to keep you as part of Nigeria is that those who are leading Yoruba now, they are managing poverty in Yoruba land. They are managing the limitation placed before every Oduduwa son. You can have a common identity without losing your own identity, your tongue. I've been away from Yoruba land, I've been away from Ijebu land for a long time. I haven't lost a bit of my tongue, my identity as an Ijebu man. But there is common thing. When an Egba man meets Awujale of Ijebu land, he knows he has to pay homage. When an Ijebu man meets Alaafin of Oyo, He knows he has to pay homage. He has to pay homage to every paramount ruler in Yoruba land because historically he has to do it. Traditionally, he is expected to. And above all, as Omoluabi, you are expected to. So would you need anybody to actually write that in a book before that is acknowledged? In an Oduduwa Republic, a republic. Go on, let them tell you what is the meaning of republic. Republic means that people of different background, races, beliefs, traditions, religion, and so many things that makes them different, but something in common, which is that identity that says we have differences, but it seems our differences are our strength. Do you get that? Then you will now call it Oduduwa Republic. Republic there is what gives you that your identity. So if someone tells you, why not go away? If someone says, why should you go away? Tell them, why not? Currently, you are not given that identity in Nigeria. You don't have it. Yes, you don't. You know you don't. Your paramount rulers, the Obas in Yoruba land, the remaining ones that are still legit, they are just figureheads. And if they try to do anyhow, they are not going to be removed by Sultan of Sokoto. They will be removed by that guy parading himself as your political leader, maybe your governor or your local government chairman, because they agreed to tame you, to put limitation before you. And that is not who you are. You can define yourselves as who you want to be if you are allowed to. And the ability to be heard and to be allowed to lies within you, your hands. The only people who are putting a hold on that are those who are parading themselves as your leaders today. The governors, the senators, the rep members, the traditional rulers, which are also changing, by the way. You now have political obas in Yoruba land. I don't know how old are you, but I'm not too young to tell you a story of how kings are made in Yoruba land. I witnessed one in my hometown in Odo-Ogbolu, when Alaye of Odo-Ogbolu was to be crowned. I knew the process. We went through that process together, that rigorous process of choosing a king and crowning a king in a town, in Yoruba land, in Ijebu land. I witnessed that. Today, you now have political obas. All they need to do is just pay homage to the whoever is the political criminal claiming champion at the time. Whoever he is, he is. He can easily make you an oba. You can be his former PA, former SA, and they will make you an oba. You become a political oba in Yoruba land. That's the reality now. It is called limitation. These are the people that are going to wage war when you say, let us break up Nigeria. Their allegiance is not to Yoruba land, even though they walk about parading themselves as Kabiyesi's in Yoruba land, political leaders in Yoruba land, talking about Yoruba land. Meanwhile, they are part of the ruins and part of the beneficiaries of the rotting that Nigeria has brought upon Yoruba land. 50, 60 million people. Think about that. There is no plan for the future of Yoruba land as we speak right now. None from the hands of those who are there. So if I am going to convince you to join the crusade, I'm going to begin to ask you to what? Channel your resources, channel your money, your fund, your time, your resources, everything in you as a Yoruba son and daughter to help those who are going to work on dethroning those who are parading themselves as Yoruba leaders now. It has to start from there. And it needs political access to do that. And in Nigeria, it is not actually politics. It is about the resources that is readily available and the people who are ready to champion a long-term war against those who are holding back Yoruba land. Let me tell you how difficult that is going to be and why it is so difficult for so many people who have been championing, analyzing, who have written books, right, who have made videos on why Yoruba land will be more prosperous if Yoruba land breaks away from Nigeria, right? The reason why it is not working is because as those people are managing to, like myself, managing to reach out to small number of people to tell them why. You see, those who are political leaders in Yoruba land right now, they are also spending enough to continue to manipulate our people and continue to call people like us just troublemakers, or with your resources channeled towards the right groups and right people. I'm talking to you, the diasporans, by the way, all of us living outside Nigeria. When we begin to channel our resources towards the groups that are ready to continue to educate, enlighten the people back home, why it is better to break away from Nigeria or to perish with Nigeria. And you can see some of our people are going to die of poverty. It is not because they don't know how to pray, they are religious. It is not because they are lazy, they are enterprising and they are industrious, only if the environment allows it. But can you tell me, in your own church mind, that Yoruba land as it is right now, our people, if you want to be honest to yourself, right, by the way, are you saying that there is a prosperity in the pipeline for the people of Yoruba land, from each state in Yoruba land, each state under the control and command of a Yoruba governor in Yoruba land right now? Do you see it coming? Maybe you can give me an idea on that. Let me give a shout out to this, my people, heart to heart with Ty. Well, that is, you know, a very lovely one from you there, my dear brother or sister, because this seems to be an amazing platform. That is probably talking about love, things of the heart. And there they are sending their own love to Maiyegun today. Thank you very much there. And guys, maybe you should check them out. Kindly check them out because I'm going to be checking them out. Ty, I will be checking you out as well. Your channel on YouTube. Thank you very much for reaching out to me today. And then again, you still did it again. And with a super chat as well. Nigeria is an entity. Nigeria as an entity can never work for the masses with the evil constitution. Thank you very much. How do we get to that? How do we beat that? So by the time you begin to channel your resources to support different groups, remember I said, don't put them to justice on. Don't put them into justice or what have you, into judge. Don't judge them. Simply put, don't judge them. Don't approach them because you want to test them. Don't test them. You see, every individual speaking up, educating 10, 20, 50, 100, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 people at a go, doing that job. What they are doing is that they are opening up a vista where people that have been, programmed to think and reason in a certain way for so long, no matter how much of victims they have become under that system, but they have been conditioned to believe that there is nothing else that can ever come out of to change that situation. So when you see groups educating these people, don't judge them. Do you get that now? Don't test them. Support them until they prove otherwise. We know those who are being sponsored by the politicians themselves. It is sad. It is sad that people will stand up and tell you that someone like Tifnumbu is in support of Oduduwa Republic. And yet, for 21 years, since he came to prominence, for 21 solid years, he is yet for once to push for any of the objectives of Afenifere, which among them was that Yoruba land will no longer have to pay or allow any kind of central government arrangement that denies our people the access to the resources that are actually God-given. For once, They have not, and they have been sending senators, House of Rep, PDP, APC, and other funny names to Abuja, and they are Yorubas from Yoruba land. Not a single one of them has been able to use their position to indeed ask for Yoruba land's autonomy. How can you then believe that the people who don't even have the balls to ask that Yoruba land should control our own resources, Yoruba land should control our own land? I mean, genuinely, those who don't have that ball, do you think they, until when they now get their own fair share of Abuja, that's when they will now give you Oduduwa Republic? It is insulting for anybody to believe that they can face you, turn on the camera, and tell you that Tinubu is their leader in Yoruba Oduduwa Republic, what have you. Yes, we have those sponsors like that, but you shouldn't consider everyone as saying there are people who are doing this because it is the right thing to do. If you think about the people affected by what Nigeria has become, so where do we start from other than just the same people? How? You increase your support, you use every opportunity you have, every window you have, to at least make one person, one Yoruba man, one Yoruba woman, one Yoruba boy or girl to agree with you that Yoruba land will do better without these charlatans, these opportunists, these scavengers, these scroungers parading themselves as Yoruba leaders who have no balls to stand up, move a bill, and demand something for Yoruba land in 21 years. And they are telling you to wait till 2023 again. They cannot even demand for a new constitution, which is actually the bedrock, the real problem that will continue to keep Yoruba poor. Yes, that will continue to keep Yoruba sons and daughters vulnerable, frustrated, push them more into crime. How is that difficult that the people who have the chance for 21 years, if they have not been benefiting from it, don't you think they would have done the right thing? At least. And that is why the step-by-step starts from dethroning them. I mean, I say dethrone them. It is a long one. The current structure in Nigeria needs to collapse. To collapse the structure, you need to float and support the groups that are ready to take on the homegrown criminals who are not speaking for you. And when I say it will require a political journey too, this is the stage where that comes through. When you begin to tell people no, to no longer give them the power, and you continue to at least take them away from these criminals by stopping them from helping them to rig elections and the rest of that, some of you can actually use your positions as well to change some of these guys who are your friends, by the way, because I know there are some of you who are friends with these same political actors, even though you don't support what they do, but you don't even know what your influence can possibly do, how you can easily sway them, possibly. That is a tool that people have not really managed to use. You can grow rebels. You can build or breed rebels among those who are products of the current rigged system in Yoruba land. I don't want to be sounding like I'm speaking in riddles. They have products. In Yoruba land alone, we have how many senators representing Yoruba land in Abuja? Let me use figures now. Maybe that will make sense. As we speak, without using PDP, APC nonsense, okay? Let's say how many Yoruba senators do we have in Abuja? 5 states, 6 states. So practically, we should have 18 representing Yoruba land out of 109 senators, I believe. 18 of them are from Yoruba land. The 6 states from Yoruba land. Out of 360 House of Rep members in Abuja, So maybe we should average of, let me say 9 per state. So 9 times 6. And I think that should be 54, shouldn't it? So 54 out of 360 House of Rep members are from Yoruba land, maybe more. But let's use the figure 54. Those are the ones they sent to Abuja by crook or hook. But there are those who go to Abuja every 4 years. They are Yorubas. Yes. 18 plus 54. That should be 72. So you have 72 human beings purportedly to be elected from Yoruba land who sit down inside the National Assembly every day for the past 21 years, different of them, but 74. That was 72 rather, or maybe more. And for 21 years, not a single of them was bold enough to move a motion for the independence of Yoruba, the breakaway of Yoruba, on the reasons I have listed on this video. Being part of Nigeria keeps Yoruba land unsafe, keeps Yoruba people poor, and makes the future for the people of Yoruba land bleak. And those responsible for this, who have kept Yoruba land, and unable to actually negotiate any better deal for Yoruba land for 21 years, other than negotiating the best political positions for themselves. So for 21 years, use that figure. Possibly hundreds or thousands of them who have had that opportunity for 21 years. Not a single one of them was able to raise anything that has to do with the generality of Yoruba land, not to talk of ask for Oduduwa Republic or controlling our own resources, controlling our own affairs. The thing we signed up for in 1960 when we agreed to be part of the Union, that was taken away from Yoruba land in 1966. And since then, every person who has held their political positions in Yoruba land has been a partaker, beneficiary of the fake Nigeria project. So, for 21 years of the recent history, not a single one of them had the ball to ask for Oduduwa Republic. Why would they ask? Or why should they ask when they are benefiting from Nigeria? Why? Why would they want to ask for Oduduwa Republic? So if you need people to push for Oduduwa Republic, genuinely, we need to target these 72 people that goes to Abuja every year, that sits down in that chamber every day. And no matter whichever political party they come from, whatever religion they practice, wherever they come from in Yoruba land, there are 72 of them that collect money from Nigeria every day because they are representing Yoruba land. You need to know them. You need to target them. And these are the people that if you can manage to change and turn them to rebels, after managing to get the people to stop supporting the criminals. Do you get that? Sounds tough. Does it? That's why I told you it is going to be a marathon. It is not a sprint. So if you manage to convince, for example, if we manage to convince or change few of them and change the way or what they have accepted, we don't need to change all of them. We know they swore to oath, their allegiance is to their godfathers. Yeah, I know all of that. But think about it. I don't know the numbers of those who represent the eastern part of Nigeria right now. Buhari is one. and he's not an hypocrite. Do you get that? But he's a beneficiary of Nigeria. He is still benefiting by the virtue of the position he is holding. Do you think probably IPOB members, they have been able to preach to the heart and mind of Abaribe? Because Abaribe is a product of the Nigeria system too. But when you ask Abaribe today, his opinion, his mind, how he feels, he will speak like a converted IPOB member who says you can't have such in Yoruba land among those who are also product of the system. You just need to approach them. Yeah, just approach them. Some of them, they have things internally that if they know, if they are allowed, if you turn off the camera and you ask them questions about Nigeria, about Yoruba land, and they begin to speak their mind off camera, you realize that all it needs is the approach. Are we approaching the right people? Are we sending the right message? Are we taking the right messages to them? I have taken it upon myself to do that. I've converted many of you who now love Maiyegun to moon, simply because I have managed to be truthful to my, in my messages, and true to my words. Maybe many of you, it is time you should turn sane, because you have interest. You have so many of these people as friends. Some of you have them as your, some of you are, you have direct influence on them. Begin to talk to them. Let them begin to open up to you. You will be shocked at what they will tell you privately, how they feel, when you don't begin to scare them. Abaribe, I've been told that Abaribe was once a deputy governor. Do you know that in Abia State, Abaribe, the same Abaribe that is fighting for the rights of the Igbo people now, is standing as shorty for IPOB members, including Nnamdi Kanu. They are threatening to send him to jail. There's even a story that they locked him up. Remember when they declared Nnamdi Kanu wanted, and nobody knew where he was? You wouldn't be. You were not told. Abaribe was locked up in the DSS cell by the Buhari's government. Even as a senator, they locked him up for months. Nobody heard from him. Yeah, that happened. But he came out. He didn't change the story. He continued to speak up. He continued to stand up for them. Every time you turn the camera on him, he's going to speak up. So maybe IPOB members have been able to convert him. Do you know how many people they can still convert if the likes of Abaribe can be converted? Do you know how many of them who are also speaking, if they are allowed to speak up in Igbo land? And when you have many of these Yorubas too, yes, you can use them. If you begin to have 5, 10, 20, 20 of them, that's an army. And Abaribe also grows the numbers among those who are benefiting from Nigeria right now. I'm giving you a new perspective to this, just to let you know that to get an independence out of the current rigged system, wow, it is going to be in phases, and everybody is going to play a role. So imagine if Senator Maiyegun General Odogbolu Senatorial District, if I rise up and say, I don't even know what they say. What do they say when they rise up? Order or something. Fuck that. Now I just say, Mr. Senate President, I want to talk. I want to move a motion. They say, what do you want to move motion for? No people elect me. What do you want to move motion for? Senator Maiyegun, I hereby move a motion in this house for the independence of Nigeria, of Oduduwa Republic. And you will see Senator Senator Chuk. It will stand up and say, I second the motion for independence of Biafra and Oduduwa Republic, and then the beating will start. Before you know it, all of us that are rebels will just stand up. Hey, okay, the wala don't start with that. those with the House of Rep to move out. You can do that with these guys and let it sink in. Convert them and let them use the big stage. And let one of them even stand up and talk about Biafra on the floor of the Senate. As good as Ejinaya Abaribe is, Senator Abaribe, he knows that if he should stand up in the Senate tomorrow and say, I want to move a motion that we discuss Republic of Biafra in this house, he will likely get nobody to second the motion. You know what I mean? Because everybody will just be like, you the craze? You been up the canoe or what? Or you can actually, in my own opinion, you can what? You can convert these guys to do the job. They just need to deliver it out there. That is something I like. And that is why I am not in any way against those who are now championing for a change of constitution. That seems to be something that will do the magic too. Where should you support that? And where should you support that? Your influence comes to play again. What does that mean? It means that even if you don't support the breakup right now because you don't have all the information to make that decision, I understand. Remember I told you that you can join all platforms in order to feed your curiosity and to get answers to so many questions running through your mind. If you have to agree that there should be a Oduduwa Republic, which group is legit, which other people are really doing it, which ones are those who are, you know what I mean? How do you get answers to all of this? How do you find answers to them? It is by entertaining these different platforms. Listen to them, okay? Taking the messages that you think will work for you. Discard the ones that you think are not really useful to you. In the process of listening to someone like myself, Maiyegun, you will finally find the answer. And when you find answers to your questions, you will join the team. And when you join the team, you will play your role. Your role may just be to use your own influence on the people you know. I don't know if I'm becoming a motivational speaker here. I don't know. I'm just trying not to shout and try to make it, make you sort of blend into that scenario. Put yourself in that picture. For example, you are not living in Nigeria, but you've got friends. When we talk about political criminals in Nigeria, some of you have I have friends among them, and I talk to them. I try my best. Some of them watch it. They do watch me on Maiyegun's Diary every now and then. I do try to tell them, ask them questions. Make them ask questions, ask themselves questions. Like, this is not working. And you know one thing, they do agree with me. They agree with me most of the time, if not all of the time. Because I'm always like trying to ask, why not they? They were like, but we can't really publicly. But when I get to that stage where I can make them publicly use the platform they have, use their own voices to begin to talk about Oduduwa Republic in their own way, once they too find answers to questions that they can't find answers to, like yourself, you can use your own influence too. You've got friends, you've got family. I've got many of you incredible people who are following Maiyegun, and you enjoy my discussion, you enjoy my analysis, you enjoy my sermons. It is time you put those into practice too. Yeah. You can use it. It doesn't mean that you have to go and protect. No. You know what? There are groups who are doing that, who are raising awareness on the ground. Yeah, they are there. Don't condemn them. Don't dismiss them. Yeah. When you dismiss them, you are not going to get answers that are really going to help you in deciding, does it really make sense? Because something tells you that it makes sense for Yoruba to be a country. But how? You want answers, yeah? There are answers. You can feed your curiosity. There's nothing being ignorant about the whole thing. We are all ignorant about the whole thing. But we find answers by asking questions. You can be too. And how do you make yourself useful? Something that tells you that we should keep Nigeria for something that you cannot even explain. You know? Personally, some of you can't even explain. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you want Nigeria to be Nigeria. You want the people to be fine. You want security to be everywhere. You want corrupt politicians to be punished. You don't want Nigeria to break up, but you don't even know why you don't want Nigeria. You don't want Nigeria to break up. You don't know why you want Nigeria, because you don't even have the answers. And everywhere you turn, it just makes it look like Nigeria should break up, but you don't have the answers to agree to that. How do you find answers? It is by listening to people who are talking about it. Many of them will play, they will paint pictures, you know, this El Dorado and all of that. They will fantasize with you, with their illustrations and all of that. I understand. They are part of the curiosity. Don't let that discourage you. Continue to be curious. Yes, there's nothing wrong in being curious. There's nothing wrong in saying, I don't agree. Why do you not agree with breakup? Why do you not agree? Do you like Nigeria as it is? Yeah, there is nothing wrong in being curious. You have right to be curious. But you will find answers to all those questions that you are asking yourself inside. It starts with you. Now that you have been listening to Maiyegun for years, many of you guys actually love Maiyegun so much. And I know you do love me so much. I'm talking about those of you who really love Maiyegun. Genuinely. That's something. That must be something to you. Eh? You can beat the Maiyegun too. Yeah. Where do you come in? When you now find answers. Right? When you now find answers to your questions and you begin to agree that, Maiyegun, I think I'm agreeing with you. Honestly. And most importantly, Maiyegun, that place, that area where you made me realize I have a role to play, even if I can't be there physically. I can influence things. How? By letting people know what I know. So instead of me to become defensive, whenever people's curiosity comes to be, whenever people try to dismiss you, because people are going to dismiss you too, despite all you know, the conviction, the answers you found, yeah, the convictions you have, that Yorubas can break away, or Yorubas can change their leaders and get a better day from Nigeria as it is right now than what they have right now. That convictions, the answers you have, people are going to dismiss it. But don't easily become defensive. Remember, you are also dismissive. I mean, you are also somehow dismissive as well. You dismiss people like us. But over time, you found answers and you begin to believe too. So for you to now be the person that convince others, that make people also believe in what you believe, to see what you see, you have to also allow them to be curious too. And through their curiosity, put them through the path that you also took, that made you convinced that indeed Yorubas can do better without Nigeria. It is a journey, remember? It is a marathon. It is not a sprint. I am playing my role. If I am lucky enough, maybe the generation that will come up in the next 25 years will be so courageous enough, so bold enough, that they will be living in their own, either living in their own country, Oduduwa Republic, or they will be the champion for it because they will be more enlightened and educated. How do you think that will work? If you don't, spread the message too. You should spread the message too. I'm sorry if I become too emotional longer enough there. I've got a few other things I want to share with you. Tricks they play, right, on you. The likes of Omoyele Sowore, which I am going to do my best among other people. I'm going to do my best as well to convince him that sure, he can have a Nigeria as the Nigeria he dream of. But he's not going to get that with the current arrangement in Nigeria. How do you get a country that works, that respects people's rights and respects a referendum? I mean, the right to decide if you want to still be part of a country or not. You need a new constitution. And that is what I'm going to ask Omoyele Sowore, my very, very good brother, someone I respect a lot, to begin to look into demanding for a new constitution in Nigeria, a new constitution powered by the people, will represent every interest of every person. And if it doesn't, then there is no constitution. I mean, if there is no resolution that represents every interest, then there will be no constitution. So people should begin to ask for one. Because when there is one, that would automatically, give the power back to the people. The power to decide what they want, who they want, when they want that person, and the type of country they want. I don't know if this is also sounding probably in parable, but you guys are smarter, old enough to be able to decipher what I have been saying. It is a step by step. I am doing my part. It is time for you to also do something too. Yes, it is time that you should use your own influence on those politicians you know. They are your closest friends, right? In the closet, you are their friends. On social media, you agree with us. Now that if you have found answers, you can make them agree with us too. Imagine how it's going to be when we manage to turn 40% of politicians from Yoruba land, we turn them to pro-Yoruba. How do you think that is going to be? I mean, real pro-Yorubas, pro-independence. Do you think the job will not be half done by then? We should just let them see the reason why and let them stop playing this game. I have a video. I think it's a musical video. I'm sorry, I don't understand what they were singing. But however, some of you do. And probably some of you will be able to help us interpret. I decided to share it with you. Because even in the northern part of Nigeria, they are becoming tired. They just don't have a way out. Possibly will never have a way out if they continue to cling on to the current arrangement. But I love what Sowore said here. Every time they accuse him of working for the system. I love this, and I want you to also listen to it before I continue from Sowore.
Yes, sure. For example, I'll give you an example of Jonathan, which is most toxic in recent time of allegations coming from his own side that were supporting the Buhari people. But it was Sahara reporters, and you can check this out, that fought the Yaradua cabal. I'm talking about the late President Yaradua. People who took him into hiding and were running the country illegally were the ones who were exposing, including declaring that Yaradua had died when they said he was jumping around, which was seen at that time as supportive of Jonathan. In fact, we were accused directly by his people of working for Jonathan to become president. But I never met Jonathan in my life. And I'm unlikely to meet him anytime soon. I'm not saying that I'm opposed to meeting people, but I just don't know them. So Jonathan came to power. We started holding Jonathan to, to his promise to run Nigeria properly. He wasn't doing it. They were stealing and robbing. We were exposing and reporting it, right? And it favored the opposition people. And of course, we're accused of working for the opposition. Now that Buhari has come to power, and Sahara Reporters is reporting that his chief of army staff has bought houses in Dubai that he couldn't explain. And that the internal affairs minister has houses in the US, millions of dollars, that show that he must have participated in looting the army resources during his time in the army, during Yaradua's time.
According to your deduction?
It's not a deduction. We have documents to show this. Now they are accusing us of working for Boko Haram. This is the accusation officially from the Nigerian army and some of the Nigerian government people. So it shows to you that we don't work for anybody. We work for ourselves.
Because everybody is saying you're working for the other party.
Yeah, exactly. Now, probably the government of Buhari will start accusing us of working for the PDP very soon. You understand? So this is
So I decided to share that video with you because we can all have a different destination, but still have a common purpose, which is freedom from the shackles of those criminals from every tribe in Nigeria, you need to have a conversation before a decision is taken. In Nigeria today, the conversation that must never be had is that of the unity, they call the unity of Nigeria. Nigeria needs to be what it is now, including everyone in it. And it must not be discussed. Because anytime you try to discuss it, it seems that divorce is going to be the issue. And they don't want to see that. I'm a Yoruba man. And I don't want to be seeing videos like this. Every time I see videos like this, it makes me dread a day I'm going to be sitting before you to tell you how many people they have killed in Yoruba land simply because the people resist or try to stop something like this. Watch this.
Àwọn màálù lẹ́rìí tó ń da màálù káàkiri lójú títí o lálẹ́ àlè kọjá mọ́ o.
Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí la lè ṣe sọ tán lé ní.
Ẹ ti rí wọn lálẹ́ báyìí ẹ rí wọn. Ẹ rí bí wọ́n ṣe ń dà wọn káàkiri. Àwọn màálù lẹ́ ń wo yẹn ara mi ní Britain o. Ní Nàìjíríà ní lọ́nà ìrú wà láwàyé lálẹ́ báyìí o. Àtobìnrin àtọkùnrin ni o. Wọ́n ṣe ń dà wọn kiri ni àmì tó ti ń dà wọn bọ̀ o.
Did you see that? That is the road in that's Oyo State, by the way. Igbora, Erua, all that area, they are volatile areas in Yoruba land. Okay, so every time I see, because these were things we were saying when Buhari came to power, in the areas like Benue, Yobe, and so many other areas where Fulani terrorists eventually attacked, ransacked, destroyed, people killed, and many of those villages are now empty. So when I see Yoruba leaders who don't really see this as anything, simply because none of their own family members, well, they are actually being attacked now, where you have, where you have members of the political family, members of, members of the political families in Yoruba land being attacked or even killed. We had an Oba, a royal father in Yoruba land, a royal father in Yoruba land kidnapped and killed as well. So this can only get even worse, but you will never see them come out with any uniformed, any uniform decision. Amotekun, they have turned that now to roadshow that they can only bring out every once in a while, just to remind you that, they still have a Yoruba land. They don't even have a unity on that, unity of purpose. So what do you think someone like me should feel when I see the likes of Maiyegun General, the likes of Aisha, and the rest of them? Because I'm not going to do this long. When I see Maiyegun General, this particular guy, asking that you should tear down this system, if you are waiting that something is going to shift in 2023, you will wait forever. And this is just tip of iceberg. And every time they say Nigeria is going to be this, Nigeria is going to be that, or Nigeria is this today, Nigeria is that, I always know that Yorubas are sharing from that. You know it, Abi? Our people are poorer today. Our people are living in fear. Our people are living in poverty. Our people are vulnerable. And here you are, Yoruba leaders. You want to listen to them. Yoruba political leaders. I have never seen anywhere they are discussing that. Anywhere, national or their state level. No, it's about the next election. So changing them should be a priority. You as a Yoruba son and daughter, like I said, it is time we channel our energy towards those who are indeed, who will be interested in using politics and political power that they have, or the voice, to champion Oduduwa Republic. It's not that they will get it for us, no. But using them, radicalizing them, turning them, making them defend Yoruba land and demand for better for Yoruba land is a start. While the rest of all those teams, Koiki, my brother, is gone mad, really mad now for Oduduwa Republic, that I do feel sorry for him. Koiki will want Oduduwa Republic by tomorrow. He wants it just as much as yesterday. But the frustration is going to face, and many people are going to face as well. For I'm talking about those who are spreading messages about Oduduwa Republic on social media now. There are many now. I've not been on Facebook for a very long time, so I wouldn't know what is really trending there. But Koiki is doing a great job, by the way. It's a long journey. It is. And the real problem they are going to face, the real people who are going to try to stop them are not Fulanis, they are not Igbos, they are not Hausas, they are not people from outside Yoruba land, they are Yorubas, those who are benefited from the system. So those of us who are in the diaspora, who are blessed enough to support good causes. When you see the likes of Koiki, my brother, when you see the likes of AY Citizen, I actually miss those guys, by the way. Support their causes. Support them. Nothing is really too small or so little. Every platform you know, support them to continue to dish out the messages, to continue non-stop, while other on-ground physical mobilization are also ongoing. Channel your resources towards those groups. I do that. Yes, I pass it on. They call it a pass. Is it called pass it on? Every time you reach out to Maiyegun with all your support and all of that, I've got all these people that also get to what? To receive the support from Maiyegun as well. It's great. It's a very great experience. I enjoy it. Do it too. Nothing is too small. From every group you know, reach out to them. We need those messages to continue. We need them. Okay? And while you continue to use your own influence to talk to those you know in different political offices in Yoruba land, I've given you a bit of a number to work with. Work with that. We have about 72 of them representing Yoruba land in Abuja every day. That's a number. Some of them are your friends. Their friends are your friends. You are friends to the friends of their friends and partner and all of that. Use it. Talk to them. When we begin to do that and they begin to drop the speeches in and they are emboldened enough to raise that statement inside the National Assembly, you are winning. We are winning. That is how by the time they all come back and we begin to channel the education and enlightenment of the people on ground towards Oduduwa Republic, interest of Yoruba land, Yoruba first and the rest of that, they will begin to make political decisions based on those. Do you know that? When you begin to have politicians who begin to drop the lines of Oduduwa Republic, I'm from Oduduwa Republic, I'm from Oduduwa land, I'm a Yoruba man, I am support, you know what I mean? When they begin to drop those political statements, and we continue to enlighten the people on the ground, we continue to enlighten them, we continue to encourage them, educate them. So when they begin to make decisions, political decisions and other decisions, they are likely going to be using Yoruba first and support candidates and people who actually have Yorubas at heart. Let us break in from there too, among other means that other people have devised. This is my own idea. I don't know if it sounds good to you. Do you get that now? So those who will stop, those who are stopping Biafra, they are not Fulanis, they are not Hausas, they are not Yorubas, they are not people outside Biafra land. Because they are the people who are denying themselves as Biafrans, because they are benefiting, they have put on the image of Nigeria, identity of Nigeria. And once you put that up, genuinely, if you are benefiting from it, it will be easier for you to deny that you are a Biafran. And there are those that will work against Biafra. There have been those working against it. Same thing with Yoruba land. The people that will tell you it's nonsense. It's a nonsense. If you want to win election, go and contest election and win election. Stop all that nonsense about breaking Nigeria and all of that. When you ask them that, okay, why should they keep Nigeria or Yoruba should still be part of it? It's just that. So stop that nonsense of they don't have anything to say. Those are the people who have put up, those are the Yorubas. Do you get that now? A Yoruba man will sit before you like myself and he will give you 100 reasons, bullshit reasons, some flimsy reasons why Yorubas should remain part of Nigeria. But when you remove the mask, you will see why he's saying all of those things. It's either he's part of it or He is related to the beneficiary of the wrath. He is one of them. By the time you remove the mask, but ask yourself the questions I have raised in this video. Ask yourself those questions, and you will find those answers. And when you find those answers, my theory may likely work then for you. I'm not going to stop. I just want more of you to use your influence. And before you know it, the effect of that, look at the effect of social media. Today, you cannot use social media to make people to go and vote for anybody. The system is already rigged. That is where the likes of Omoyele Sowore comes in. So by the time you add petrol, add diesel, add everything, add gas, put light, and the whole place flame up, the whole thing flame up, right? I'm talking about when you move like this. What will happen next is that the system will collapse, a new constitution will be demanded, or should be demanded from now on, when we all agree that, hey, maybe that is what we should be waiting for this while. The moment we are able to begin to carry our people along, educate them, the type of country they can have, how practicable it is, and on and on and on and on, the most thing you should be demanding for should be a new constitution. Because that is something that will actually give you the right to get all of these things, to even start the conversation. You need a new constitution, the one that will not make you a criminal, the one that will not ask them to shoot and kill you for asking for your own country. You know, then everything will start falling in place. Let's use all of this and see what will change. Okay, and from what I was told, this video you're about to watch it's actually the reaction of the Northerners to their sufferings now that Buhari has proved that he can't save or secure their lives. They will be killed. They will die. Yes, they will die before 2023. Those that will survive, they will vote again for Buhari in 2023 if Buhari contests. Or whatever it is, they seem not to be happy. A little bit or a little pissed.
Yau babu wancan gobe an yi fade ga wancan da damuwan wa zamu ji burin ku mi ta kuka da me zamu alfahari in kun gama da kowa ina zamu je ba gidan da yafi arewa an mai da yaro maraya an tusa masa damuwa.
Kanin baba na an harbe shi a gona yana kiwon dabbobi da noma rana yayi zafi kuma inuwa da kuna bala'i a dama kuma masifa a guna mun baro garin mu yau kwana 110 kuma masu bindiga suna ta tada husuma saboda ba abinci wasu mu suke ta suma wasu dusa suke ci kuma ba su koshi suma wasu kuma su mutu babu taimakon hukuma ƴaƴan mu a fyade yaran mu a sace mai kuɗi da talaka ba wanda suka tale damuwanka damuwa na ne damuwa na damuwanka ne damuwanka damuwa na ne damuwa na damuwanka ne
yana ya rasa rayuwansa kan kare kasa ya rasa ransa san bisa shike daukar nauyin karatuna yanzu babu wanda yake kula da batuna yanzu ina ne zana je menene zana yi ko ne dai ko ban yi ba babu mai kula da ni ba mai damuwa da ni ba mai rayuwa da ni ko rashin lafiya na kwata ba mai bani magani.
No be you they give me life. Why you want to end my life? Anytime you see my guys, you only want to shoot them down.
Ina ne na tsinci kaina, ina ne zan saka raina, kisan yaushe za a daina, yaushe za a daina. Allah ka gyara arewa, babu tsaro a arewa, ba haɗin kai a arewa, babu taimakon juna a arewa.
Dole in yi tagumi, dole in gumi, dole mu yi gangami dan kasuwa da malami. To ku saurara da kyau, rayuwa tana da kyau. Yan arewa kun ga neman nisa ake mana yau. Sai mu yi hattara, malamai mu tattara, addu'a mu dinga yi da ni da kai da mai bara. Shugabanninmu na arewa tilas ku ankara, ina muke arewa. Ya zama fa dole, wannan lokacin mu sai da hankalinmu. Ya zama fa dole, wannan lokacin mu nuna damuwanmu. Ya zama fa dole a daina sacewa da kashe mana ƴan uwanmu. In baka fito an nemi yancin nan da kai ba, in baki fito an nemi yancin nan da ke ba, in baku fito an nemi yancin nan da ku ba, to abin yana nan zuwa gare ka kai ma, to abin yana nan zuwa gare ki ke ma, to abin yana nan zuwa gare ku kuma, to abin yana nan zuwa tafe da kowa. Wai ina muke arewa. Damuwanka damuwa na ne, damuwa na damuwanka ne,
damuwanka damuwana ne, damuwana damuwanka ne.
Thank you very much. Like I told you, I heard Abinshi, I heard Sambisa, I heard about Kufre or something like when they kill you or something like that. Something about, well, those of you who understand Hausa language, I hope you will be helping us to interpret that for someone like me who doesn't. That's one of the reasons why we should be breaking up. Why won't I understand other language? Things that are so far from me, I don't understand. I don't. And I'm supposed to be a Nigerian. Well, I'm sorry, I don't. And I shouldn't. If I have choice, and getting that choice should be something that you should be interested in. I mean, everyone, in a way. So if they ask you why, let me ask you, are you that person that still wants Nigeria? And why? If we have a chance of talking about it again, I'm going to have a call-in program later tonight. It's just going to be about 3 hours away. So if you have the chance of, about 3-4 hours away, if you have the chance of watching then, I'm going to open the line. Are you that person that still wants Nigeria? Well, we will meet later tonight. Thank you so much to all of you for your time. My dear brother or my dear sister there, David, my dear brother, David Osawe, a new member of Maiyegun's Diary Political. Thank you. So again, to the all-paying members of Maiyegun's Diary Political, remember, if you don't set your notification that you've got your suspicion on, we may not be enough. You may not be getting the notification. But if you have the time, set the notification up now before you go. I'm going to see you later tonight in 3 hours. See you then. And you should have a wonderful time there.
Ani esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Ani esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook Maiyegun ti dé. Ani esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube Maiyegun ti dé. Ani esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́ Ani esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ Ani esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Presido bá rúfin o Ani esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Gómìnà kówó jẹ Ani esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá Ani esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o Ani esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú Ani esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Ani esunraki Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní.